Hello guys, my name is Tito. I'm the CEO of Wadex, and today I want to show you something about Gitcoin and something about the quadratic funding, which is pretty, let's say, trendy these days, but I'm not sure if someone really understands how it works behind the scenes. Before we go to quadratic funding, here is Gitcoin. It is on the domain gitcoin.co. According to their heading, it is crowdfunding and freelance developers for open source software projects. You can post a bounty or you can ask for code review and give some rewards to some freelancers and developers. But the other cool feature that they have is grants. And here you can use it like a crowdfunding platform. You can add a description of your project if it's built on it, and you can receive donations, and of course you can receive some quadratic funding match, which is provided by the Ethereum Foundation. As you see, this is the fourth round of this quadratic funding. It is sponsored by Ethereum and it is for $125K. Okay, everything sounds cool. You see that there is some die match, there are the amount of contributors, some other rewards, what's the total funded and what is the estimated match. But how this really work and why it is called quadratic funding. Let's go to some definitions. You can see here the amount received by the project is proportional to the square of the sum of the square roots of contributions received. Sounds pretty complicated, isn't it? At least for me, maybe for you it's pretty easy, but I'll try to split it a little bit and to explain it. So let's go to that part. The square roots of contributions received. Let's take a practical example. For example, we have two donations, each for $4. So the sum of square roots of contributions of these two donations is square root of 4 plus square root of 4, which is 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4. This is one part of the definition. And the other part is that we take the square of this sum. So we have the square of this sum is, the sum is 4, so the square is 4 on power of 2, which is 4 multiplied by 4, which is $16. So we will have $16 reward funding if we have two donations for $4 each. This is how the quadratic funding will work in its original version, let's say, but it is tweaked a little bit and the algorithm is upgraded, and the aim is to stop some guys to self-fund their project and to take advantage of the algorithm. And how it is updated, I will show you in the other part of this video. Before we continue, I want to show you one paper from Vitalik Buterin, the Ethereum star. And yeah, before we go to the quadratic funding, we can see the quadratic voting as well. It is pretty useful example. And as far as I understand it, the example is for one company, and the company want to open a new office in other town, and there are two choices for the new office. For example, let's say one of the towns is town A and the other one is town B, and of course this decision is important for all of the employees of the company, and all of them can vote and decide to which town they should move their new office. The problem is that if all of them have the same voting power, and maybe some of the employees really do care where will be the new office, and they think that town A is better, but the other people that don't really care, they will say, okay, they can choose A or B. And a lot of people that don't really care can select B, and the final decision will be to open the new office in town B. But this could be the wrong decision. And we are trying to solve this problem with the quadratic voting. The other option is to give your vote to someone else, but in this case, the guy with um, which is the wealthiest one or the strongest preferences, which in democracy could be the wealthiest one because he can buy the votes from the others by providing some money or in some other ways. And I can buy voting power and with it to manipulate the final decisions. So this is not working as well. And quadratic voting is something in the middle. So with each new vote, the the final decision is tweaked and they have some different weights, and it really do matter how you vote, and you're directly uh, having impact on the other employees. So it is important how are you going to vote. And in this case, we believe that the voting will be more balanced and will take the right decisions. Some other example is with quadratic funding, which is not about voting but about funding. And in this case, the idea is the more contributors you have, never mind if they contribute even a small amount of funds, then you take more funds from the quadratic funding. And usually the quadratic funding is donated by some company or some big organization, but the task is to spread the donation between the different projects in the most fair way. I will give you some example again. For example, if we have one donation for $10, then if we follow the formula, we will have square root of 10, which is 3.1, and the quadratic funding will be 3.1 on power of 2, which will be $10. And you can see that it's really small. If we have two donations by $5, and in total we have $10 donation as well, but this time we will have square root of 5 plus square root of 5, and we will have the sum, which is 4.46, and the quadratic funding bonus will be 4.46 by power of 2, which will be $21, which is 2 times more than one donation for $10. And if we have 10 contributors and each of them is donating $1, which in total is again $10, we will have square root of 1 plus square root of 1, and it will be $10 sum. And the quadratic funding will be $10 on power of 2, which will be $100. And you can see the difference. If we have the same amount of donation in total, but the number of contributors is different, then we will have different bonus. And as much smaller donations we have from different contributors, most probably the final result will be better. And there is a review from the last quadratic fund donations, which was wave 3. Now we are on wave 4 until 21st of January. So if you want to donate, now is the right time. And there is a pretty good article about it. I will add the links after the video in the description. You can see the analysis, and here is written that the projects who have received higher funding could have even penalty and less donations matching on the quadratic funding compared to projects who receive more smaller fundings from different contributors. And you can see here that how it is, what is the result on the total funding bonuses. You can see that if you fund $100 or more, most probably it will be a straight donation. So if you want to support some project and you want to take advantage um, of the quadratic funding scheme, then the best option is to donate something between $1 and $100. It's pretty interesting. It is based on the analysis of the previous round, so most probably it is right. And let's go back to Gitcoin. You click to grants, and here you can see the different projects that we have. They have different sections: security, scalability, UI, UX, DeFi, and you can select the project that you like, and you can contribute pretty easily. You should have some meat to pay the gas taxes, and you should have some other token. In my case, I will use the DAI. I want to contribute to a few projects that I believe are making the DeFi and Ethereum sphere much better place. One of them is Chris Black. He is from the media part. He is producing pretty useful content all the time. So I want to contribute to him. You click on fund this grant, then select the amount of contributions. I'll contribute $1, but every dollar counts. One-time donation. I will leave 5% of the donation for the Gitcoin team, and then I just click contribute. My MetaMask is popping up, and I click confirm. Confirm. There are two transactions. One is for allowance of the tokens, and the other one is for the real contribution. So thank you, Chris, for being so cool and producing these great videos. The other project that I want to support, and I believe it's great, is DefiZap. Go to the grants dashboard again. Write Zap, for example. And here it is, DefiZap. As far as I know, they won a hackathon in the end of last year, and they are doing a great job. I think that could be very useful for the traders. It is a system of smart contracts deployed on Ethereum network, and they can give you instant access to different opportunities. I won't go in more details because the video will be too long, but you can check it. It is worth $1 for the FizzApp, 5% contribute. Here you are, guys. Keep going with the great job you're doing. Okay, done. A few more projects that I decided to donate to, and at the same time I can give you some interesting ideas of how is DeFi space going. It is Sublier. It is a money streaming protocol, let's say. You can real-time check the funds that you're receiving, like a salary, but it is a micro transaction streaming. Uh, cool, guys. And I want to fund them as well. $1 one time, 5% for the Gitcoin team, of course, and contribute to this grant. Confirm. Confirm. And here it is. You can tweet as well to share your donation with the word and to bring more donators to the platform. Contributors, I mean. One split exchange, which is again one project that came from a hackathon as well, as far as I remember. These guys are working very hard, and they are doing a cool thing. It's like a on-chain DEX aggregator where they can split one transaction to smaller ones, but everything is happening only with one contract call, and it's pretty cool, very useful for the end user with a great UI and UX. Contribute to this grant. And last but not least, and in my opinion, the most important project that I want to fund is, okay, go to grants, is Gitcoin, because without them we wouldn't have that cool platform for donations, for developers, and for collaboration, of course. So I want to say thank you to these guys, and I want to support them as well. I think that all of us should support this cool team and their project. Here we are, confirm, and the transactions are sent. It was pretty easy. And I want to show you one more project. It is the project that my team and I are working on. It is called Jelly. You can type it here. It is part of the DeFi projects. It is a cross-chain atomic swap protocol. It is a bridge that we are building, bridge to DeFi. So you will be able to move your BTC to DAI, BTC to ETH, and vice versa in completely decentralized, trustless, and secure manner. You can think of it like, let's say, Uniswap version 2.0, because in Uniswap you can only exchange ETH for ERC20s, but here you can exchange BTC for ERC20s or Eternity for ETH or Tron for ETH, and we want to add as many chains as possible. Everything is based on HTLC contracts, hash time locked contracts, and everyone can be a liquidity provider similar to Uniswap, and you can provide liquidity on BTC and ETH and earn some fees from the spreads. We'll release our app on the mainnet soon. We believe that it will be ready by the end of January, but we'll see if everything will go as it is planned. For example, here is the app. I think the user interface is pretty simple. You should connect your wallets. It is non-custodial. All the time you have control over them, and you are doing transactions to smart contracts, and it is atomic, so the swap happens or nothing happens and you don't have any risks. You can see the rates, and you can move from E to DAI, from E to BTC makes more sense. And after that, we will automate this, and you'll be able to directly move from BTC to DAI and land it in Compound, for example. Here is the dashboard. You can check all the transactions that you have. Still, I don't have any transactions. And you can buy crypto from Ramp. They are decentralized as well, and it is a great fiat gateway for onboarding new users. You can use your bank account or Revolut as well. So regarding our project, here is our repo. It is open source. We have HTLC contracts for Eternity, for ETH, for ERC20, for Tron, and BTC script as well. You can come here and check it, because when you're using the app, you can be sure that everything is completely secure and you know what is happening behind the scenes. Here is the monorepo. There are different packages, and it is like an SDK for connection to this pretty cool application. We are striving to build a simple and clear user interface, and you can use the SDK to embed this widget in your wallet or your application or website or wherever you want. I think this is everything about Quadratic funding, at least the information that I know. I will attach the links and you can check it by your own. You can support our project on Gitcoin, And remember, bring more contributors, and the best option is to contribute something between $1 and $100. Um, Thank you a lot. I hope that it was useful, and I believe that we should help each other and to collaborate to these projects in order to make Ethereum and DeFi one better place. Thanks again and have a nice day or evening. Bye bye.